Welcome to the What's Over the podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Helps us grow the podcast. And you know what else helps us grow the podcast? If you tell a family member about us, a friend about us, anybody in Vegas.
Those are some weird ass people in Vegas.
Yeah,
they'll belong with us.
Yes. They are my people, our people, because tell them all we love them, especially like the guys flipping like the friggin' hooker cards on the street. Love that shit, makes me laugh. But yeah, so before we hop into this week's movie, go check out our Patreon. We're doing some overhaul, maybe different than what if you've been there before. Here soon you'll see some differences. We're gonna do some new things. We're up in the ante, if you will, I believe. And so since Mattson left, we realized it's time to do another facelift for the podcast. We've done a couple of them now, 6 years and many hosts. We tend to make some changes, so we're going to make some more. So keep an eye out for that, but go check out Patreon. It's a great place to get involved with what we do. All right, so it's week 3 of December. The laugh into movies that made you laugh hard enough to spill your popcorn or snack or spill your drink. This movie this week made me do all of the above. So we're doing The Hangover. It was released on June 5th, 2009. It was written by John Lucas and Scott Moore. It was directed by Todd Phillips. It stars Zach Galifianakis, Bradley Cooper, Justin Bartha, Ed Helms, Heather Graham, Sasha Bareilles, Jeffrey Tambor, Ken Jeong, Rachel Harris, Mike Epps, Jernard Burks, Rob Riggle. Who else should I name here? Matt Walsh. He was funny. And a nice cameo from Mike Tyson. It's about 3 buddies who wake up from a bachelor party in Las Vegas with no memory of the previous night and the bachelor missing. They must make their way around the city in order to find their friend in time for his wedding. Okay, this is my movie, and I can't even fucking get through my intro without giggling. So I have to tell the story. So back in 2009, like Casey and I were, you know me in comedy, I'm a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yes.
So when I see a comedy like this one, like I was like, okay, I can relate to that because used to be, especially back then, massive drinker. Okay. Massive. So I was like, okay, I can see where there could be some value in this just because I think there's got to be some dumb shit. I was not prepared, sir. Like we were like, okay, we'll go see it because we used to see a fuck ton of movies and we're like, okay, this looks funny. Maybe. Dude, I don't remember I still to this day, since 2009, cannot think of a movie that I went to and in the theater laughed as hard as I did at this movie. And I think there was a lot of things going on in 2009 that made this movie probably funnier, better, more accepted than it probably should have been, or even would be now, I think. 2009 was the height of PG-13 to maximize people that can go see the movies, right? Like this started probably early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I think the last time I can remember a movie that everybody was like super excited about it being rated R was The Matrix. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, our moviegoers are younger. They're 13 to 18 is probably the peak of moviegoers. But well, fast forward to 2009, all of these 13 to 19-year-old or 18-year-olds were growing into adulthood, and they were realizing that these movies that they were being forced to watch were watered down. Like we go back to the 80s, and you had some shit that you're like, what the fuck?
That's a PG-13.
Yeah, and then you get into the late 90s and early 2000s, you're like, what the fuck? This could have been great if they could have sworn, maybe a titty here and there, some violence. I mean, whatever the case might be, it was missing things because they were aiming towards this bracket of human beings that they needed to make it PG-13. So PG-13 was the coveted rating, right? This movie came and flipped that shit on its head. It said, we're going to be rated R and we're going to fucking be rated R. And we don't give a shit about political correctness. We'll go over the top, so unrealistic and yet relatable, like we talked about earlier this week or this month. So it's like when I sat down, I didn't expect what we got. Like the last thing I expected was a naked Chinese guy jumping out and beating the shit out of somebody with a tire iron with his little mini dick hanging out. Like, and dude, fuck, I'm not kidding. When I say movies that made me spill my popcorn, this is it. I spilled my popcorn. I think I dropped some fucking Skittles, maybe some Starbursts, and I was crying. Like I was laughing so hard the whole time. And every time now I still watch it. And don't get me wrong, there's 2 and 3 not as good. They were just money grabs because this worked so well. Casey and I went to the theater to see this movie 3 different times within like a 2-week period because we both left and said, that was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. But God damn it, I laughed so hard at that movie. And so this will always be near the top of comedy lists for me. So when we did this one, I was like, I have to do it because this is literally one of the only movies that's ever made me like laugh so hard that I was dropping shit because I was fucking couldn't see I was crying so hard. And so I had to do it. And I watched it the other day and it still makes me fucking laugh. Like, even though I know I could quote 90% of this movie, I could have done this recording without watching this movie, but it's like, it still makes me laugh. Almost not quite as hard as the first time because that shock value's gone. But goddamn, is it funny?
So I don't have
a kid when this came out.
When this came out in 2009, I was 16 or about to turn 16.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it until a few years later. And for me, it doesn't work as well as it does if you change any single person in the cast. And so, because they each have their own role to play, that is so phenomenal. It makes all the moments land. They wouldn't land, I think, if you swap out Zach Galifianakis with anybody else. You could put so many funny people into that role, and it doesn't land. You can even, like Bradley Cooper, swap him out, doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even freaking Ed Helms.
Oh, dude.
Like, the sniveling kind of whiny crybaby of the group. Like, you leave him out and you could there's a dozen actors that you could put to fit in that role that would bring you kind of the same persona and it wouldn't work. It's these 3 hooligans all together that makes it amazing. And so, like, when you get down to they're looking for the 80,000 in casino chips, right? And then you get that glorious scene where Zach Galifianakis like, I got it. I'll just count the cards in blackjack, and got the numbers going. He's just sitting there, and you kind of you don't realize this until you watch him do interviews. He wasn't acting here. He was just being himself. Yeah. And this is what he is. And so it's just for me, this is peak. This was his movie. Oh, his absolute, gem of a movie, because he's just so phenomenal in what he does. But it's that very nonchalant. He doesn't have to act at all. And so, I mean, because really the first time that we're introduced to him in this movie is when he meets the tiger in the bathroom. And you get to see really what you signed up for, because up to that point, it's a very kind of straight shooting movie. Yeah. This is when it goes sideways, and he's just peeing, and he just turns. And it's you're sitting there going, no, like, no way nobody would do that. But that messed up, that gone. Oh, dude. Then you just hear what shouldn't be there. Yeah, 100%. And then you get a look, and then you just keep turning because, that makes sense. And so it starts there, and then it just continues on. And so from that point, it's almost it's giggles. For sure. For the majority of the rest of the movie. Yeah. It's just so great. I'm glad you put this on the list. Dude, it's special. It's special, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, and like you talked about
with Super Troopers. Like, to me, you said lightning in a bottle, and I agree with you on that one. This is another case of like lightning in a bottle. You'll never be able to recreate this, and they've tried twice, and it just doesn't work as well. It still works. Part 2 was funny, had some great additional moments, but it was a remake of this, basically, just in Thailand, right? And the third one was so completely different that it just felt like I was watching a different movie. But you're right. Zach Galifianakis, listen, I don't love the guy.
No.
Most of what he does, I don't find him funny. But in this, and then in a movie that he did with Robert Downey Jr. that I can't think of the name of, that where they have to go on a road trip together. If you haven't seen that shit, oh my God, dude.
I think I know. I know what you're talking about.
Hilarious. But it's like this. It's like so outlandish and yet relatable. But I think, like, even leading up to, because until you get, like, when they wake up the next morning, like, shit, like you said, shit goes off the rails. Like, the first thing that you do is you see a tiger in the bathroom. He's half naked, like, running around with no pants on. But even before that, the setup of how this is going to be, you see Bradley Cooper. Like, I giggle and laugh every time he's taking fucking money from those kids for some fake fucking trip. Like, you know what I mean? And then like pocketing it for Vegas money. And then you get poor fucking Ed Helms' character that's like getting abused by his fiance, basically. And like, dude, they're very mature. Hey, asshole.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Because that would be me. Like, that would, and I think that's one of the other reasons I connect, because I would be one of these guys, if not all three of them, in one way, shape, or form in this situation.
Well, they took like the stereotypes, right? And they just spun them on their head.
Yeah.
So you have the school teacher who usually in a movie, when you put a school teacher in there, like they're the caring, understanding one, the kind of glue that holds everything together. And Bradley Cooper walks out. He's like, "Hey, don't talk to me. It's after school, like, motherfucker." Pretty much. Like, it's Friday. Shut up. I don't know you till Monday.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And then you got your drug dealer who's just,
oh yeah,
throwing everything there. And then you got the controlling relationship where it's not, the husband who's controlling the wife or the, man controlling the woman. It's the reverse.
Yeah.
It's his fiance is just, so they take all these stereotypical relationships or, these kind of movie roles that you can throw someone into, these molds, and they say, how can we just do the reverse of this? How can we flip it around so that it is new and it is fresh? But yeah, when Bradley Cooper, we first get introduced, he's a school teacher. You're like, what? And then you see what kind of teacher he is, and you're like, oh, okay, no, I get it now.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, and then I love, like, you meet fucking, the first time you meet Alan, he's getting fitted for the fucking tux for the wedding. He's like, hey, man.
Yeah, cut my balls.
It's perfect setup. And then the dad lets him borrow the car. And it's like this thing. And he's just like, oh, God, appreciate you taking Alan with you. He's so excited and whatnot. And Alan trying to be fucking Bradley Cooper's character the whole time, like waving of his hair. Oh, fuck, dude, it's great. And then, like, he's just complete and utter awkwardness. Like, it's a satchel.
Yeah.
You're not wearing that out. And he's standing there being all weird. Who let the dogs out? Who what the fuck are we watching? It just, first 15 minutes, you're like, what is going on?
Well, this movie does a good job as well of like circling back to itself. So you have the satchel joke that happens, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then later you have, it's like no, it's a purse.
Yeah.
Like, I need my purse. And so you have the inverse of that. It doesn't play out for like an hour until Ken comes on screen.
Oh, man.
But from there, it's like the longest setup of a punchline, because now you're going back to where, because I don't think Bradley Cooper ever really calls it a purse. He just asks him like what he's doing with it. Like, and the unspoken kind of theme within that scene is he's gonna call it a purse. Like, that's his character, 100%. I've seen this joke before, and they leave it hanging for like an hour and a half until Ken comes on. And he straight up is like, "No, I need my purse."
Oh, can we just talk about the greatest introduction of an actor that was never meant to be an actor in the history of cinema? And like, what a career that this movie launched for him.
Oh,
Ken Jeong, dude, like the guy's everywhere now, and he's a funny son of a bitch. His stand-up's great.
hilarious.
I watched him once. They had him on I think it was like either Big Noon Kickoff or like whatever the ESPN
College Game Day.
College Game Day.
He was
Oh
on
my
College
god,
Game
he's
Day.
like, I love you, ho. No, it's her last name. Like,
Yeah.
about his wife. it's I just he's so funny. But dude, when they open that trunk and he jumps out and he's naked and he starts beating, oh, you want to fuck on me? Like, and he's just beating the shit out of fucking Phil. And like, dude, that moment, spilled popcorn, fucking knock. I was like laughing so hard I couldn't breathe because it just comes out of nowhere. And I think that's what this movie is so randomly. It has this perfect through line, but it's all random.
Mhm.
And it's hilarious and weird and like unexpected. So it just lands perfectly every time. But goddamn, Ken Jeong was one of the funniest fucking. When you start to like, okay, this movie's getting repetitive, right? Like it's just weird shit after weird shit after weird shit. They bring Ken Jeong in and it fucking resets it, right? Or you bring in Heather Graham with like whose kid this whole thing is, or you bring the baby in general. They just keep throwing these little fucking nuggets of like, okay, where are they gonna go? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just okay. We're turning left now. Here we go.
Yeah,
but it still kind of connects or it furthers the story along. And so, like, you have the baby that could just be a random gag they throw in there, but the baby helps them uncover more their night because they're having to track through everything, and they each little thing connects the dots.
yeah.
And so it's like you said, it's randomness with that through line because every seemingly random point is connected to the story. It's another branch they connect in with not a lot of telegraphing, which is impressive as well. Is you don't know where they're gonna go with it, but they always find a way to bring it back. That feels natural.
Yeah, no, and that's the other thing I love about it is no matter how outlandish it gets, like they make it feel like it's believable. Like the whole they steal a cop car. Are you fucking shitting me? You're going to jail. But instead, these goofy ass cops are like, you can just be our taser guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's that whole like, well, how did we steal your car?
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like,
yeah.
You don't want to be the guys who lost their car because we'll tell everybody.
Yeah.
Like we'll make it known that you guys are the ones that lost your car. And so then it allows for this hilarious scene with the tapes.
Oh my god.
Like, dude, straight up just Rob Riggle.
Dude.
Funny
kills it. 5 minutes in the movie and he fucking kills it. He's so good.
Such a great performance. Just he was having the time of his life. Hyping up these little third graders to get excited about tasing and just random guys that he arrested 20 minutes ago.
It's amazing. Dude, I still to this day use the in the face. Yeah. It's just
and you knew it too. You know this little kid it calmly raises his hand in the back and just walks up, just cool as a cucumber.
Oh yeah.
And then just keeps pointing the taser higher.
He's like, look at this little guy still going. Yeah. Hit him again. It's such a great scene.
Sometimes you need 2 shots to bring down these big boys.
Oh fuck. It's so good. So good.
It is really good. It doesn't like even though he's not in the movie, right? Justin Bartha, he's not in this movie.
Yeah.
There's no argument that can be said he's in this movie.
No, yeah.
But he still is such a central part to it that for me on the first time anyway, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Right. Never in my wildest dreams am I thinking the roof.
No.
Not thinking that he's stuck up on the roof. And for being in this movie for like 2.5 minutes and 90 seconds of that is on the security tape at freaking Mike Tyson's house. He's such an important part of it that you're like actually invested in wanting him to be around. Great actor, great character actor, and you want him in the movie. But it's it's a weird thing because normally if you send someone off, it's your like 2-bit character. I don't really care about him. I could care less.
Yeah.
With Hangover and Justin Barth, like I want to find him because I want him back in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the little bits that we got were enough to make it interesting to be like, no, like I'm invested now in these 3 stooges going out and finding their friend. Like I want to know what happens to him.
Yeah.
Because this movie is one of those that it could have ended with not a happy ending.
Oh, for sure.
That would have been one of the left turns that they easily could have thrown at it to really go off the rails with it and get that shocking up.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of, at least when I watch it, I'm still like, motherfucker, where is he? Because if I go long enough in between watches, I forget the finer points and the finer details. And so it's that kind of like, dude, where is their friend? Like, I want you guys to find your buddy. I want you guys to find your friend, because as hard or terrible as their experience going through it is, like, and as easy as it is to hate these guys, you want them to succeed.
Yeah.
Like, you want Ed Helms to go find his courage, and Bradley Cooper to find his heart, and Zach Galifianakis to find his brain.
Yeah.
And Jay Barth just happens to be their Dorothy that they're looking for. And so it's very, we used this term before, it's very intelligent humor, but it's wrapped up in absolute ridiculousness.
Oh yeah. I mean, are you shitting me? And that's why, like, when they first come out and they're having breakfast or whatever, and the dude's gagging and he starts making the baby jerk itself off, and he's like, they open the door and it smacks the baby in the face. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, I shouldn't be laughing at this shit. But this is funny fucking shit right now. Like, I'm a twisted bastard, but I can't help myself. And I love that you talk about Justin Bartha, because he was like, outside of like Heather Graham and some of these other small, it's interesting because the biggest actors in this movie at the time were the bit actors. You know what I mean? The dad, Justin Bartha, Heather Graham, all these people. Even Rob Riggle was more famous than most of the 3 leads at the time. All that freaking, Zach Galifianakis, I didn't even know who the fuck he was when this movie started. I knew Ed Helms, but only because he'd been in some comedic shit in The Office, right?
Yeah.
And then, but even that, he wasn't like a major character in that.
A side character.
Yeah. And then, what's his face? Fucking Bradley Cooper. The biggest thing he'd done was Wedding Crashers before that, right? Like,
and he was kind of a bit part in there.
Yeah, he was just the asshole villain boyfriend, right? Or whatever, fiance. And so this movie like took these 3 and made them household names for, well, and I mean, you look at Bradley Cooper, Jesus Christ, this dude's winning Oscars, directing movies, like, it's crazy.
Well, you look at Zach Galifianakis, he's still holding on to The Hangover.
Well, sure, yeah.
He took his check and he said, "See ya."
For sure. Yeah, I mean, he didn't like, and even Ed Helms doesn't do much now, but for a while, man, these 3 were hot to trot, right? And it's so interesting because to get people to this movie, they advertised Justin Bartha, who was fresh off of another movie we've done with why can't it?
National
Treasure, plus a couple of other things that he had done. So everybody's like, ooh, and then you're like, oh, Heather Graham's in this. Oh shit, okay, well, there's some big people in this. And then you're like, wait, they're only in this for 2 minutes, but this fucking movie's great. It is funny as hell.
Well, it's interesting, too, because you're just popping in my head, because we also did Failure to Launch, which had Bradley Cooper, Justin Bartha as friends. And I think that was around this time, maybe a little bit before. Yeah. So you almost have them, you have a pairing that works really well if it's coming after Failure to Launch. And then you're like, okay, cool. We know these 2 work really well together, so we're going to have one in the movie the entire time and one in the movie for 50 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Failure to Launch, 2006. So
okay,
about 3 years before.
About 3 years before. So that's hilarious to me, because you have a pairing that works.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, you know what? Actually, we're going to pivot a little bit, and we're going to, Justin Bartha, you actually don't have to be in this movie at all.
Yeah. He
That's
was
funny.
also in, I guess, He's Just Not That Into You the same year, 2009.
Okay.
It was all right, but nothing that launched him. But boy, was he big after this.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, this movie's funny as fuck, though. I'm telling you, like, there's some lines that I still quote to this day, years later, and like and can we just talk about the resurgence of fucking Mike Tyson after this too? Like, all of a sudden, he was back in the limelight, fresh out of jail, not long before, and and nobody, and all of a sudden he comes in, and dude, when he hits fucking Stu, oh my god, or not Stu, when he hits Zach Galifianakis, dude, funniest shit ever. Like that song, like the whole setup. All right, guys, sing it with me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as when he thumps him and the way he hits the ground, it's so perfect.
Well, then it gets even better because you get back to the house and you watch the security tape, see how these doofuses are just, not doing anything you want to do when Mike Tyson is within arm's length of you. And
Yes.
just Zach Galifianakis. So I should like wait outside then. It's like, yeah, that'd be best because he's peeing in the pool.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
But just so nonchalant, just off the cuff, like, so I should just like go wait outside then, I guess. And and Mike Tyson's great because he's got that very kind of soft spoken voice,
Yeah.
which is in direct odds to him
Yeah.
as a fighter in the ring, and just absolute mayhem and murder when he gets out in the ring, but very soft spoken, very polite person. So it's such a back and forth conundrum because this is one of the first times where you're actually seeing him as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and not as a fighter, right? Because in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, he's just fighting. And so any interview that he's doing is like coming fresh out of the ring or going into the ring. And so it's all game, all focus. And so to realize that, oh no, he's funny. He's got comedy that he can pull out and play along with in this, and then he gets more bit parts and more movies, and because he is a very funny human being that is in direct contrast of what the public opinion is of him, which is he's a stone cold killer. Because it's that mindset of when he's in the ring, he's in the ring. And it's just such a well played kind of dynamic to have him come on and be a Joker. And it's the first time you're kind of seeing it, because I again, I didn't see it in theaters, but 2009, you're watching this, they come back to the room and there's Mike Tyson there. You gotta think that, oh, this is the fight scene, like this is gonna be great. And then it turns out to be one of the more funny parts of the movie.
Well, and I love too how they play that very thing in this film. Like when they first see him, he's like, "Is that Mike Tyson?" And then they're like all geeking out, right? And then they realize that he's pissed, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then he fucking hits what's his face, and you're like, "Oh god, Alan!" He knocks his out. You're like, "Oh shit!" And then he puts his ultimatum, and so there's this level of like awe and inspiration of like, dude, this is Mike Tyson, one of the greatest boxers ever to live. He fucking hates us. Like, but he's so nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until he fucking dies. So it's just this really interesting conundrum that they have themselves in. And then he's all joking with them when they go back to take the tiger back, which also, by the way, in the tunnel, pushing the fucking car with the tiger in it, fucking hilarious. When the tiger wakes up, oh my god, dude. So funny. So funny. Just rips that car to shreds. And oh my god, it's great.
Oh, it's so great too, because later you get to see like how they got the tiger away, and the tiger's like just chilling, going for it. So they play this back and forth once again with this tiger. It's like now the tiger's probably hungover is what the thing is. And so just hungover and then waking up after being drugged. And so you have this back and forth again because watching that you're like, how do these idiots get this tiger? Like, and then you watch the tape and tigers they're just walking it on a leash and open the door and it pops and just takes a nap. And so it's really well thought out, and there's like two sides to every coin in their skit, if that makes any sense. And so there's always a reason or a playback or an opposite that balances everything out, which is just so great and nice to see.
Yeah, and then the last one that I always want to talk about is when and this is where the movie set me off. Okay, like I lost it was when you get all the introduction, you meet the characters, which they were funny. I giggled. I was like, okay, this is doing all right. But then when they're in the car driving to Vegas, he's reading the fucking blackjack book, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, learning how to count cards. I'm going to count cards." He's like, "Alan, that's very difficult to do." And he's like, "Rain Man did it, and he's a retard, dude." I fucking lost my shit because that shouldn't be as funny as it is. But to me, I was like, you can't say that word anymore.
Yeah.
The way he said it, and he just was no apology. Like, you can't even be mad at him because he's an idiot. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh my God. And I seriously lost my shit. And then when they almost get in the accident, and it's, oh fuck, dude. Like that, when they got in the car and they're driving, that was when I realized, okay, this movie's gonna fucking kill me. And it sure as shit, boy. Tears. Like I said, for me to go back to a theater 3 times in a row with other movies out, 2009 was a pretty hot year for movies. Mm-hmm. And for me to go to this movie 3 times in a row, back to back to back in the theater, oh God, it got me. It was funny. Funny.
What's hilarious, and it's that the recurring theme that we have is the relatability.
Yeah.
Right. So that car conversation, like that happens soon as your buddy you're on a road trip, buddy pulls out a book, and you're like, what? Well, first of all, what the hell are you doing? Right. And then second, he's like, I'm going to learn how to count cards. And it's like, dude, you can't count to 20 with shoes on. What do you mean? Gotta count cards. And so it's just that back and forth, and then throwing in like well, that's illegal. Well, no, if you get caught or whatever it is.
Oh man,
like we every single person knows someone like that who's like, oh yeah, it's super easy, just count cards.
Yeah,
with the multiple decks that are in these machines, with how frequently the decks and machines changed out.
Yeah, so funny. Yeah. Well, and then the fact that they come back with it and they actually put the Rain Man scene in there is just, it's too good. It's too good. All right, should we rate it?
Let's do it.
All right, this one's mine. I don't think it's hard to know where I'm going with this. I on it, like, this is up there as one of the funniest movies I've ever seen still to this day. It's relatable. It's silly. It's outlandish, ridiculous. All of those things wrapped into this just perfect conflagration of things that should not work, and a story that I mentioned yesterday, the last time we recorded, like, I don't love a movie that doesn't have a through line. This is one that barely has a through line because they're trying to find their friend Doug, right? Like, if it didn't have that, this movie's all over the fucking place, and I struggle with it. But I don't struggle with this movie at all because, and you mentioned it, somehow they find a way to tie all of these very disparate pieces of story and happenings and things like that together to where it makes sense. And you go, I could see some of this shit happening, and some of it's so over the top, but I could see like a small version of it happening. Maybe you don't actually steal the cop car, but you try. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't actually get stuck on the roof, but you can't find the guy because he's in a hotel room with some other girl down the road and doesn't have his phone or whatever it is, right? So I just love that it's relatable, but the fact that I laugh as hard as I can fucking laugh every time I watch this movie, I'm giving it a 5. It's one of the funniest comedies, I think, out there. So, yeah, this one's great.
All right. I'm going to be right there with you. So, 5 as well for me. It's interesting. I think because we've used this term almost this point overly much, but lightning in a bottle. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if it had something to do with the way that they wrote the story or the way that the story plays out, because they don't have any kind of backstory. You're waking up in Vegas essentially with the characters not having any clues. So then from there, you're writing forward.
Yeah.
So you can take these branches and kind of go, okay, so they don't know what's going on in the movie, right? We haven't shown the audience anything. They don't know what's going on either. So we can kind of write this story from start to finish, but we're beginning it in the middle. And so we have all the advantages of being able to tie this back in because they do such a phenomenal job. And it is great. And it's not necessarily one that I'm gonna say, oh, hey, we should watch The Hangover. Like, I'm not gonna watch it on repeat.
Sure.
But whenever I sit down and watch this, dude, it just crack up
Oh, yeah.
because it is so good and so funny. So yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a 5 for me. I love it.
That's a good call out. The level of the fact that you don't have any dramatic irony, because we don't know what happened.
No, not a
Just
clue.
like the characters. So we're all along this ride with them. So we feel like we're part. That's a good call out. It's very true. There's no dramatic irony because we don't know where it is, and it's that's a good call out. I like that.
If we want to compare it, right? We take Super Troopers last week, which doesn't have a through line, but at the same time, you know what's happening throughout the entire story. You have this, third person overlook that you're able to see and view, versus in this, you have nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
You are pretty much, the fourth wall is just, you're following them around as they're going and just observing.
Yeah, that's a good call out. I do love too, before I set you off to wrap it up, the fact that they take the camera shots of these dumbasses because they cut them loose in Vegas and they took pictures. They didn't record anything, they didn't do any filming, but those pictures that they show are fucking real. Like, those dumbasses, they got them drunk, they got them fucked up, they cut them loose in Vegas because they were 3 nobodies at the time, not really anybody that would. So you're running around Vegas where half the people are shit ripped anyway and don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they talked about, they cut these 3 assholes loose and they got all fucked up, gave them a big budget to go drink and do dumb shit. And they had a producer following around taking pictures of them doing dumbass shit. And all those pictures at the end were the camera. And I love that scene too. One look. Oh, yeah. Just because I could see that I would be terrified if I had a night, because I've had some nights in Vegas where I'm like, it's a good thing there's no proof of what happened this weekend, because that shit was wild. So anyway, when we're not talking about Vegas and The Hangover, where else can they find us, Alec?
Oh boy, find us on YouTube. That's the best place to see our smiling faces and get involved. Drop us a like, drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of our content of the podcast in general. We love the feedback. I will not promise to be nice on feedback, but we love to receive it anyway. Aside from that, the best place to get involved with all of the What's Our Verdict content is on Patreon at What's Our Verdict Reviews. JJ mentioned at the beginning, we are doing a bit of a revamp, kind of figuring out not necessarily a new identity, but how we can improve our content or take it to the next level. So Patreon's the best place to get involved with things like voting. That's 100% free on topics that we do, and then on movies that go within those topics. Just got to join in to be a part of the voting process. These votes matter to us. There might be some, actual matter behind it coming soon, or at this point it might already be done. But even if it doesn't, it still matters to us. We are those type of people where the points do matter, no matter how many you have or what they actually stand for. Aside from that, there is a little bit of paywall. So if you want extra What's Our Verdict content, everything from bloops all the way up to full-length episodes of movies that nobody should watch, but we did. Behind a little bit of paywall, you guys will have access to that content as well. So if there's not enough on YouTube, there's plenty more on Patreon. Special thanks to our patrons, Rich and CB. You guys are lifeblood of the podcast. We appreciate you. And CB's the sponsor, I guess, behind these most recent topics. So if you're liking these topics that are coming up, and this month especially that we just did, you can thank CB for that, but join us there on Patreon. With that, I'll kick it back to the Colossus of Clout, the King of Crash, a JJ.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Alec. Yeah, go check us out. And with that, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!